Hi there and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. I'm back on air and ready to go for another fabulous season of the show. Now, last time I did a segment on how to sort of try and avoid type 2 diabetes, and we got some great feedback from that show, and we've got to announce the winners from a few weeks ago, and I have their names here. We have the fabulous Faye Anderson, the awesome Jane Cook, and the amazing Melina Bell. Each of these fabulous girls have won a personally signed copy of book 6. So that's in the mail for you girls, so look out for it. And of course I will be generous again this season. I've got lots of great ideas for the show to get us right through. So let's get started on the show today. So now what I wanted to do is, because I'm in my happy place here, you know, I've got my apron on, I'm in my kitchen, I'm feeling a bit fizzy and excited, I'm going to cook for you one of my go-to recipes, especially at these cold nights over winter, and it's my fancy chicken curry. Now, I've called it fancy because it is a bit fancy-smancy, because you'll find out as we go along, it's just not a typical curry. So what the ingredients you need to get started is you have to have 600 grams of chicken. Now this serves 6 people as well, so it's a good serves. You've got some of the Macel chicken stock powder. We've got the crushed garlic. Now the spices we're going to use to make this just a beautiful flavoured curry is turmeric, dried coriander, cumin, some fennel seeds. Now I don't use them a lot in recipes, but when I do, you'll know because they taste amazing. Bit of chili powder. I've got my little packets of cuppa soups, the cream of chicken, evaporated milk. I also am going to use some skim milk in this recipe as well, and I've got some veggies, and I'll talk about them in a minute, but this is also what I'm using is the phyllo pastry. I'm not doing any chopping today. I don't need my chopping boards because I decided to make it a little bit quick in this area because there's quite a bit to, not quite a bit, but I want to focus on a couple of areas. So what I did before we started is I've actually chopped up a cup of carrots. So I diced a cup of carrots. I diced 3/4 cup of celery as well as red capsicum. Now I also put in here some frozen corn and frozen peas, which were 1/2 cup each. But the other thing that's in here that I don't use a lot either is leek. So now you get the leek, it's a long stick, and I cut it in the middle. I tell you to do this in the recipe. And then I always wash my leek because there can be dirt inside it. And then just sliced it, and you need a cup of leek. So I've just boiled that with a little water in the microwave for about 7-8 minutes and drained it. So it's ready to go. So let's get things happening. I just thought, you really, you know, we know how to chop up a carrot and celery and that, don't we? We also know how to dice chicken. So I kind of thought I'd make it a little bit easy on myself for today. So what we start with is the wok. We're going to heat it up, get it nice and hot, and I'm going to just cook off the diced chicken breast, of course, without the skin, and some garlic. Now you'll notice I've got my little utensil thing here ready to go. I've got a small rubbish bowl because I don't have a lot of rubbish to go today. And I've got my soapy sink going, and my oven is preheated to 200 degrees, sorry. And it's quick because we're going to just basically want to brown the phyllo. So 200 degrees for about 15 minutes we're going to cook it in there. So I've got everything ready. Now this recipe is super fancy fabulous, and there it is there. It's this recipe here, and it's in one of my 7 favorites of my cookbooks is number 7. So if you haven't got this recipe, what are you doing, guys? Because this is awesome. So let's put in a teaspoon of the crushed garlic. Now you can always use fresh if you want, because you know that's fine. I just like the fact that it took me how long to put that garlic in? Yeah, not long at all. Now while that's sizzling, I'm just going to drop in the diced chicken. Now you know, if you've been watching the show, you'll know this, but if you haven't, if you're a first timer, well, welcome. Nice to see you. So what you do is you just drop in little bits of chicken at a time. See how, can you hear my lovely sizzle going on here? And that's what I want. Keep my sizzle going. Because if I threw this whole bowl of chicken into the wok, I mean, it's cold. It just came out of the fridge. it kind of stews the meat, and I think that's not as good. All right, so I'm going to leave that there for a second and wash my little chicken hands. Perfect. And now we want to just stir in the garlic and the chicken together. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I just love curries over winter. I mean, I'm sorry, but this one I make all year round, to be honest, but especially over winter, it's fantastic. Now, while that's cooking, and I'll come back and stir you in a minute, I'm going to prepare the spices. So let me get my little teaspoon. All right, so what we're going to start with, and I might just move these over a little bit. We're going to start with a teaspoon of turmeric. Now this will give it that beautiful yellow colour that you want in a curry. It doesn't really make it hot, it just gives it that lovely flavour and colour. Next we're going to put in the coriander, the crushed coriander, dried coriander. Don't you just love how my little spoons fit in these containers so well? I know, I love my spoons. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of cumin. And it's an easy way to do it this way because I'm flattening it as I go. And that means that I'm getting the exact right amount. Because, you know, if you're putting in particular spices, they can be quite dominating with the flavours. So you want to make sure you get it accurate. Now fennel. I'm going to put half a teaspoon of the fennel. Let's move that down to half. And this is, fennel can be quite strong. I love it. Especially in this dish, it's awesome. And then finally we're going to put some chili powder in, and I'm going to go right down to 1/8 of a teaspoon for this because I'm a bit of a chicken when it comes to chili. Now that's what I love about that. Look how that's measured, 1/8 of a teaspoon. I know exactly how hot this will be, and I think it'll be a beautiful, nice heat for me. If you really like it hot, then maybe you might want to put 1/4 of a teaspoon of the chili in, but at the end of the day, I always say go small because you can, once you put it in, you can't go back. All right, so now I'm going to throw in all those now that my chicken's nearly cooked. I like to just be able to put them in a bowl together like that and put them all in at the one go. And you just coat the chicken. Oh my God, the fragrances from those spices are awesome. So I've coated the chicken. Just cook those off for a little bit, just 30 seconds or so, just to release those spices. Fantastic. Now what I'm going to do, oh my gosh, the chili's getting to me. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to toss in the veggies. Now these are the ones that I pre-did. Look at the colours, it's so vibrant, especially when you see how great the sauce is. It's a lovely yellow. Put them in the dish, get ready to clean that. Tossing the veggies. Now let's just repeat those veggies because I didn't chop them up for you. It's celery, capsicum, carrot, peas, corn, and the fresh leek. Look, if you really want to make this and you go, I haven't got time to go and buy a leek, then that's fine. Just use an onion. But I do love the leek in it. Now the next thing I want to do is get a can opener. Where is it? And I'm just going to pour in the can of evaporated light milk into the bowl. And I'm also going to put in the 3/4 cup of skim milk. There we go, in the bin, in the sink. Now in that I'm going to put a teaspoon of the chicken stock powder and also the 2 sachets of the cuppa soup. So this actually gives it a real good depth of flavour and it thickens it while it's cooking. So we want 2 of those. Now remember, this is out of book 7. It's the fancy chicken curry. and it is just awesome. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to get my whisk, mix them into the curry. Now basically this is our base, as you can see, super easy. And now we're just going to wait for this to thicken up. And what it will do is once it's boiled, once you've got it at boil, you know that it's ready. And so what I'm going to do is make a little room here. Here's my bowl, my dish. Just stirring that together. Oh my gosh, I love this recipe because you really just need a salad with it, or you could put some veggies on the side if you want. Sometimes, you know, like you can put rice with it, but if you're really a person that doesn't particularly like rice that much, you'll find that with the topping of the phyllo, you're getting that extra little bit of carbohydrate there, and it's got the crunch. I love this recipe, and I've made it for several dinner parties, because what I've done in the past is I've made this up, put it to the side, and then just closer to the time the visitors arrive, I then just put it together and cook it. It's so, so good. Now I'm going to pour this in. Let's see how. There we go. Just spread that around. And now my curry's ready to be dressed. All right, I'll put this over here. All right, we're nearly done. Oh my gosh, this is such a cool recipe. Now it has 4.3 grams of fat a serve, so stop it right now, I know. Tuna, the chicken is amazing. And I'm going to use the phyllo pastry now, and it's just going to show you how easy it is to use it. Now, I really want to stress to you that this is the brand that I recommend. So it's the Antonio. Now the frozen one, I don't like it. It's very difficult to work with, but this one just comes like this. And when I buy a box, I will tend to, that week, make a couple of things with the phyllo so I use it up, because it doesn't, I've never really frozen it successfully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up. Now I need 6 sheets. Now the phyllo, normally how you would make this is you'd brush through each layer. So I mean, I can feel the fat going on my thighs as we speak. So do it my way. I know I created this back in book 1. So what you do is get a sharp knife, cut it down the middle, and give it a good spray of the cookie spray. Now, this is how difficult this is to do. Be scared because it's very technical. You scrunch. I'll show you again if you didn't get that right. I know it's really hard. You just scrunch it up. And then you put your little rosettes along on top of the curry. I know, stop it right now. It's fabulous, isn't it? So you cut it. Scrunch. See, there's no real technique to it. You just scrunch it up together, guys. How easy is that? So what it is you get one sheet is for one person. So every person gets 2 of the little rosettes. So there you go. And it goes really crisp in the oven. You've got your oven on at 200, remember? And you're going to cook it in the oven for about 15 minutes. Check it at 15. It really does depend on how hot your oven is. And then cut it in half again. See, not hard at all, guys, is it? So if you've been a bit unsure about how to do this, you can see that it is super easy. Is that one left? Yep. Now, this beautiful curry would freeze for about 2 or 3 weeks because of the milk in it. Look at that. I'm sorry, but I'm a little bit impressed with myself right now. Spray the tops, chuck in the oven. Set your timer for 15 minutes and then come back and check. Now, once again, 4.3 grams of fat a serve. It has 282 calories, so it can fit into everybody's lifestyle. Now, if you want to make a different one, you could change the chicken for fish, or you could change it for tofu if you're vegetarian. So now, one of the things I want to share with you is this August is my anniversary month with me and my fabulous Billy. That's right. So today until Sunday the 5th of August, I'm doing a special offer because Bill and I are celebrating 44 years married. I know, he's amazing. He's the best man in the world. And he says I am too. Do you, Billy?
Yes.
Anyway, I'm going to offer free postage on my website for any orders over $44 throughout Australia. That's right, you've got till the Sunday the 5th of August to get the deal, so go on and you'll get that free shipping. I know, it's fabulous. Now, you're going to want to win something today as well, aren't you? I know, I'm giving you gifts all over the place. Who wants to win book 7? Hello, let's see the hands up, of course. So if you want to win book 7, you know what you've got to do, people. And it's important. You like, you share, and then in the comments, where is it? Hello, hashtag simply too good, simply number 2, and you'll go in the draw and I'll pick 3 fabulous people for next week. And next week's show actually is going to be really good because I'm going to be talking about making meals in a minute, because who has time to cook anymore? So if you have a minute or maybe 2 minutes, I'm going to show you how to make it happen so you're cooking fabulous food. Speaking about cooking fabulous food, I happen to have pre-cooked. Hello, get your knife and fork out, people. This is the fancy chicken curry. It is so good. Remember, it's out of book 7. I mean, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? I know, stop it right now. It's fabulous. And if you want any more tips or recipes, you know where to go. Simply2good.com.au. Anyway, guys, it's great to be back. Love your feedback. Give us any thoughts if you've got any ideas for any future shows. And I'll be here same time, same place next week. Bye now.